Alright, bruv. Let me grab you by the hand and walk you through my mind. Oh yeah, I need the mic closer. Yeah, you need to hear me. See, when people talk about Tyla, the conversation usually feels much smaller than the career she's actually building for herself. Because if Tyla was American, let's be honest, this conversation would have been completely different already. If she was Nigerian, it would have been different too. And don't get me wrong, if she had a US accent and a New York City zip code, we wouldn't even be debating this right now. Music is global, but the conversation around music still very much isn't. Oh, you know what? Let's actually step back and look at what she's been doing. She's been touring internationally, right? We are now talking about the usual US, Paris, and Germany run that you know from most artists. We are talking about Tokyo, Mumbai, Singapore, the Middle East. This is not a testing the waters tour, right? This is a passport getting tired. That already tells you something important. She's resonating with people who don't share the same culture, the same background, or even language. That doesn't happen by accident. She's also being recognized. World Artist Type Awards, Impact Awards, global categories. And even on my own channel, she's been probably the most consistent and well-performing artist to react to. And to be honest, my channel is rather global than local, and you see that in my analytics too. So every time I check them out, it's like, damn, this isn't a niche situation at all. So let's be clear, she isn't small, not at all. So the real question isn't, is she big? The real question is, why doesn't it feel like she is? And here's where people usually get it wrong, because we've kind of trained ourselves to think loud equals big, but if an artist dominates the US market, they are automatically seen as global. If they dominate everywhere except the US, they are treated like a side story. Tyla sits right in that uncomfortable middle space. She is operating globally, but she's not always framed as culturally central in an American-led music conversation. And that gap right here, this is the entire video. And before anyone says it, no, this isn't about water. Well, it's not just about water. Yes, water was the breakout. Of course it was. She said it herself.
What would you say is the smartest thing you've ever done?
Pour water on my back on stage.
What would you say is the dumbest thing you've ever done?
Not do it sooner.
But viral moments happen all the time. What matters is what happens after the moment. Because a viral hit can open a door, but it doesn't keep it open unless there's something real behind it. And this is where people start misreading her size. A lot of artists today don't build careers. They chase spikes. They chase the next TikTok sound, the next headline, the next viral clip. And when the moment fades, they scramble to recreate it. Oh, we've all seen it, right? Tyla didn't do that though. Yes, Tyla knew how to use that momentum, and for the next couple of months she poured water on her back until it felt like waterboarding. But it's not like she's recreating this moment in any way or like trying to find another viral thing to do. She didn't pour juice on her back. She didn't switch to sparkling water. She said, let's get back to the studio, make some music, and this is what she's been doing those last couple of months and years. And that's actually kind of wild when you think about it, because her growth doesn't look loud, and because it doesn't look loud, people assume it's smaller. Look at everything Tyla's not doing right now. She's not forcing scandals. She's not doing fake controversy just to trend for a weekend. She's not rebranding every 6 months because the internet got bored. She's not jumping on every random feature just to stay visible. She's not screaming for attention. And weirdly enough, that's exactly why some people underestimate her. Because honestly, we've gotten used to artists announcing their relevance instead of building it. If someone isn't loud all the time, we assume they are small, even when they are quietly moving on a global scale. Take the dance conversation on TikTok. She had this one dance, I don't even know what it was called, I think it was just Tyla's dance. She actually got a lot of hate for this dance, but to be honest, people keep hating on Tyla for whatever reason, but this is a topic for a different video. But then something interesting happened. For Chanel, TikTok wasn't asking Tyla what the dance was, TikTok was telling her this time. People created their own dances, and instead of forcing a moment, she adapted to what the audience was already doing. And that's a huge shift, because when people start creating moments for you, you're no longer chasing relevance. You already have it. Let's be real for a second. Some artists explode on TikTok, disappear after 6 months, then come back louder, more desperate, trying to recreate the same spike. Sometimes it's not even about music anymore, it's about spectacle. Hey man, some artists disappear, come back and be like, hey, remember me? And Tyla on the other hand is still growing. She never left, but also in a more stable way, so it's not always so loud. And the most important thing, she's putting out music, it sounds good, and she's actually getting more consistent in my mind. Now, she's been going crazy for a while, I'm not gonna lie. Nah, he should have been a feature. Baby. Yeah, I just had to crash the party because this is the part of the video where it gets a bit uncomfortable. Tyla is often framed through categories. African artist, representative of a scene, that Ampiano artist. Representation matters, identity matters, but sometimes representation quietly becomes a ceiling. She gets celebrated, yes, but only in the room we are comfortable putting her in. And that's something I keep noticing with her career. Look at the Grammys last year, for example, too. At some point, it stops being about where you are from and starts being about how far people are willing to place you. Now think about this. Imagine the exact same career, same songs, same tours, same streaming numbers, same international audience. Nothing changes except where she's from. If this exact career came out of the United States, the conversation would have already be over. She'd be called a global pop star. I'm saying late night shows, magazine covers, industry cosigns. It would feel automatic. If this came out of Nigeria, she'd be placed right at the center of the Afrobeat conversation. Strong media narratives, a global genre movement behind her, but because this career is coming out of South Africa, the framing changes. Not the music, not the reach, not the audience, just the lens we use to talk about it. And that's the part people always realize. The career doesn't get smaller, but the conversation around it does. Same impact, different origin, completely different narrative. Actually, a lot of this comes down to how Americanized music discourse still is. If you're not dominating US charts, radio, the media cycles, your global success can feel secondary, even if you're massive elsewhere. That doesn't mean you're smaller, it just means the lens is narrow. And just to be clear, I'm not saying Tyla's music is flawless. Some songs hit more than others, and I've also shared my good amount of criticism when it comes to Tyla. I've reacted to everything she's ever put out. God damn! But yeah, as I said, I've reacted to everything. You all know that I don't fake reactions. See, global stars are not defined by discographies. They're defined by momentum, and Tyla clearly has it. So when I say Tyla's bigger than people think, I'm not saying she's underrated. I'm not saying she's ignored. I'm saying she is operating on a scale that doesn't always show up in the loudest conversations. See, I've been following Tyla for a while now. I've been reacting to her music consistently, and even though I know how big she is on a global scale, being close to the US-centric music conversation, I don't really see her talked about like that, unless it's controversy. And that's what made me pause, because I genuinely see her as a high talented, confident and unique artist. Someone with way more potential still in her. And I'll be honest, I even caught myself falling into that same trap over the last year. Never doubting her talent, but expecting more, wanting more, feeling like she could push even further. And then I realized something. Her growth isn't jumpy, it's not built on constant viral spikes. It's steady, it's noticeable, and it's intentional. And that's exactly why I wanted to make this video. Not to hype her, not to defend her, but to step back and say, maybe the way we are measuring her right now is off. So yeah, what do you think? Is staying in your own lane the best approach? Is chasing spikes what you have to do as an artist? Let me know. I appreciate you.